Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Xenoheart13 here, coming at you live once again with another video, probably the last video of 2024 on the channel. I'm here with my good best friend SourReality here, and we are talking WWE, not just for the fact that the Raw debut on Netflix is coming in about 6 days now, next Monday on Raw Netflix. Looking forward to that. I don't have Netflix.
On Raw Netflix? You mean on Netflix? Not sponsored.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not talking about that WWE. We're talking about WWE 2K25. Specifically, what we would personally love to see in 2K25. Specifically, superstars. Superstars that either being a faction or basic superstars that were in 2K24, 3, 2, doesn't matter. Either they weren't in the past game, and they're making a return, or they just never been in the games involved. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna name off 5 superstars from both, and 5 superstars each. We're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna do Raw, SmackDown, NXT, a legend, and what we think a DLC person could be. I had to think about the other one for a second. But anyway, so that's the game plan, I guess. Lead it off, Mr. Reality. Who would you like to see either return or make a debut for Raw on 2K25?
So we're doing Raw first?
We're doing Raw.
Technically, Andrade was on Raw the longest time during the 2024. So I have Andrade as my Raw person because I had to actually go and start looking into how that shit worked last night. And yet, Andrade was on Raw until the draft.
Yeah, true, he was. And I like the last time he was in a 2K game, I think it was what was it, 22? I think it was 2K20.
Yeah.
He debuted in the game with that was when he was with
Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega, yeah. And
El Idolo.
Yeah. Alright. So mine for Raw isn't necessarily really just one superstar. It is a faction, and that being the Wyatt Six. Now, technically, everybody who is in the Wyatt Six has, well, aside from one person, was in 2K24. That being Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Bo Dallas. I mean, technically, we even got 2 versions of Uncle Howdy, but we will be seeing a returning Eric Rowan. But as far as like a brand new thing, we don't have Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross. We do not have the other. There's a lot of good things that
Huskus, Gacy, Mercy, Loomis.
Yeah, Loomis and. With all that, it would be really cool to actually see how that faction works, because that's I think that's a faction of 5. So I'm just thinking to myself, if they were to add the whole Wyatt Six and stuff like that, could that mean that we could potentially have up to a 4 to 5 person entrance? Because I know right now they only have 3-person entrances, but I'm just saying it'd be really cool for them to add a 5-person entrance or a 4-person entrance for custom tag teams and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, I definitely have the Wyatt Six is my number 1 pick for Raw. Off to SmackDown now.
So with SmackDown, we got the new Bloodline. Specifically, Bloodline's already in the game. They won't be called the new Bloodline going forward, most likely. They'd probably still just be the Bloodline, and then you have OG Bloodline as the 2 faction splits. But that introduces I Love You Solo, Jacob Fatu. That's Gorillas of Destiny with Tamatonga and Tongaloa. And they might put Bronson Reed on it. Because I'm pretty sure moving forward, Bronson Reed's going to be doing a lot more with the Bloodline after his ankle surgery.
I didn't even realize
recovery.
I didn't even realize that he needed it, to be honest. I mean,
bro, both Tongaloa and Bronson are out injured. Bachaloa.
I mean, to be fair, Bronson Reed did put a few other people on the shelf for at least a week or two. You know, those tsunamis and stuff like that.
Well, that was scripted.
I mean, yeah,
injuries.
Sure. But, okay. So, for me, there was one person, who did I say? It was that girl who, Alexis or something? Electra
Lopez.
Yeah. Truth be told, this one I'm not really too familiar with. But
So, for people not familiar with her, she was a part of Legado del Fantasma in NXT, which was Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Joaquin Wilde, and what's the other dude's name? He's the other LWO person right now.
No, it's not Dragon Lee. I don't know. Like, weirdly, the LWO isn't really, like, the Superstars isn't really...
He's injured. That's how come I can't remember. He's been off TV for a while.
Oh.
But the other person at LWO, Joaquin's partner.
Yeah, it's, Electra Lopez and stuff like that would definitely be a pretty interesting addition if they were to add her. If they wanted to make a more up-to-date, roster and stuff like that. Not really much to say. Like, some of the women's matches I don't really watch all that much, but unless it's for well-known superstars. But I just had to think of someone. So I guess we're doing, what is it?
He could have gone Motor City Machine Guns, but he doesn't want to talk about them for some reason.
I don't know them.
And he's claimed to be a Jeff Hardy fan and watched all of their TNA stuff.
Right. Okay, moving on. We're going to move that along. Right, NXT.
I was torn, but in the end, I'm going to go with All Ego Ethan Page. Former AEW wrestler, former TNA wrestler. He was TNA World Champion. He tagged with Josh Alexander in the North. He beat Trick Williams on his second match ever in NXT for the NXT title. His first match in NXT was for the NXT title. And plus, you just gotta kill him. Kill him with a smile.
Oh my god. So honestly, for me, I feel like she could definitely have a pretty good chance at making it in. I mean, I think she debuted in November or October, but so did Punk. Punk debuted in November or December of last year, and he made it in. But I'm gonna say for my pick, Julia. Now it's true that my knowledge of her is not very well. But I do know that she did come from, I think, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think
Stardom.
And she's making it really big so far, especially with her currently on track, at least in my opinion, to definitely become the one to dethrone Roxanne Perez. But of course, she would probably have to get through Cora Jade first. But honestly, with how much I've seen of watching Julia's matches as of late, I definitely see her being being a very solid choice for being put in the NXT roster and stuff like that. And best believe that would be definitely someone who I have on my custom tag team when 2K25 drops, probably sometime in either March or April. So I guess it would be legends that we would like to see either be in the game. You know, I think I'll just get this one out of the way. Kind of an obvious one, but you know, this guy already said it. Except I'm going to be doing tag team. I'm going to be saying the actual Hardy Boys. Technically, I think their last WWE game that they were in together, I believe, was 2K22. And then Matt left, and then Jeff was in 23. And then this past year's game, 24, there was no Matt or Jeff. But from what rumor has it, they have signed a Legends contract now, despite being under contract with TNA now. They have signed a Legends deal with WWE, so I think it's a really good chance that we could see the Hardy Boys permanently be in the games now, in 2K25 and up. And plus, and as we all know, there's literally at this point anything and anyone could be in the game, especially no matter if they're in WWE or TNA specifically and stuff like that. I mean, we've seen plenty of superstars come over from one brand to this one, so I can definitely say that the Hardys making their return into the 2K games is actually a pretty good chance. So the return of Matt and Jeff. So
mine's got some lore behind it. I think as a legend coming to the game would be Brian Pillman, the loose cannon himself, and there's some lore behind it. So the reason Brian Pillman wasn't in games as a legend from ever since after 2016 was the last time Pillman was in the game.
I thought it was 17, but it might have been 16.
Well, it was because 16 was Stone Cold Steve Austin's showcase.
Oh, yeah.
So Brian Pillman was introduced in the game solely as a character that you get through showcase during the one of the Hollywood Blonde matches. But the reason he wasn't in the game is because Brian Pillman's widow, his wife, wanted extra money every time they wanted to put Brian Pillman into the game because she's a drug addict. This is from who is going to inevitably be in the game. His name's Lexus King in the WWE, but he is Brian Pillman Jr. So they don't have to go to his mother anymore. Brian Pillman Jr. has pretty much disowned his mother 7 years prior to this, before he went to AEW and stuff. But once he signed with the WWE, they signed extra contract for Brian Pillman Sr. to be a constant figure in the Legends now, as long as Junior is in the WWE.
Okay.
So thanks to Lexus King being in the WWE, we will most likely see Brian Pillman in the game.
True. It's been going on almost a decade then since he's been in a WWE game. Wow. All right, I'm gonna have you see on who you want to see as a potential DLC superstar.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. So he alluded to it with the Legends thing, but TNA has a working deal with WWE right now. I'm pretty sure, even just 2 weeks ago, Sol Ruca from NXT, which I have seen comments on people being like, Sol Ruca should go to the WWE. She is a WWE wrestler who's doing matches with TNA. She is not a TNA wrestler. But, with that, because they're still doing the wrestler exchange. Like I said, Sol Ruca just wrestled for TNA 2 weeks ago at whatever their pay-per-view was. What is there? Is that End of the Road?
Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory.
That one sounds like their Survivor Series. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Bound for Glory sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure it's that. Unless that's their WrestleMania, but I don't know.
I think Hard to Kill is their WrestleMania. No, Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania. So this might have been Hard to Kill. Anyway, whatever this pay-per-view was, she wrestled for the women's knockout championship, but it ended in DQ because of reasons. But yeah, I have Joe Hendry, and with the Hardy Boys is a funny thing as Christian's Legend because in TNA, Joe Hendry and the Hardys have a alliance going on.
So honestly, I mean, if you get the Hardys and stuff like that, and going off of it and stuff like that, which leads me into my last pick, because me and him both agree what would be really cool is if just for a DLC, just make it a DLC pack in general, a TNA Stars pack, which honestly leads me into mine, and it's something I've been following because of the Hardys, Rosemary from Decay. Now,
yeah, he doesn't remember Motor City Machine Guns.
Wow. Okay. You don't need to be calling me out like that. But aside from don't get me wrong. Aside from people that we would personally love to see, we're also kind of being realistic with our guesses be saying that we also are putting in people who
have
either been in WWE or is in talks of being in it,
or have already done the TNA to WWE.
Exactly. And Rosemary has been in a WWE match. I forgot. I think she fought Tatum Paxley or something.
She wrestled Jordan Grace, which is a TNA wrestler. Kalani Jordan and Julia. It was Rosemary, Tatum Paxley, and whatever.
Wendy Chu?
Yeah. Wendy Chu.
Because, I remember that Rosemary had made her, I don't really know what else to really call it. I guess, her WWE debut. But,
it's her WWE debut, but it's also under the TNA WWE Wrestling Exchange.
And personally, I would love, because, I remember Jacob telling me that Abyss is actually one of the producers for WWE, so it's honestly not too crazy to think that we could see someone like Rosemary actually make her debut in a WWE game officially, and plus the scenarios that we could come up with as far as matchups and stuff like that, Rosemary versus Roxanne Perez or versus. And if we get an updated Nikki Cross because of the Wyatt 6, that would be a pretty cool one. There had the Wyatt, a Wyatt compound match, Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross versus, Demon Mother, Rosemary, and stuff like that. So I mean, there's plenty of things there. But as far as it's concerned, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel not only us, but I feel a lot of people would definitely agree that WWE 2K for this next game, it's undoubtedly we have to have a TNA, a TNA Stars DLC pack.
And as the honorable mentions that were going to be in that pack, because there's precedence for 6 wrestler packs. So even if it didn't go to 6, there's still a good 5 too. So if they go 6, you do the Rascals, you do Rosemary, you do Joe Hendry, you do Jordan Grace, and you do Ash by Elegance, who is the former Dana Brooke, because she interfered in the match between Roxanne Perez and Jordan Grace at, I think it was Battleground.
No, yeah, that sounds familiar.
But if you only do 5, you just take Ash by Elegance out of it.
I mean, either way, there's a lot of potential for TNA Stars to be as a DLC pack, especially with that very good working relationship. So that's what I personally think.
Yeah, especially with us having the rumors of Josh Alexander coming through the TNA exchange to have an actual contract with WWE. The rumors is that Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry's contracts are going to be bought out by WWE. Moose is rumored to have a match planned down the road in WWE.
I can honestly see like a lot more superstars being like TNA superstars coming into WWE based off like Royal Rumble. Like, I'm not saying that they have to do it, but I would personally like to see it. Like, have Joe Henry be like the number 30 in the Rumble. I mean,
the rumors for the Rumble is 2 of the 10 confirmed entries is a TNA wrestler.
I mean, like for the past 2 times. I mean, like for the past 2 years.
And I'm pretty sure, especially with something you showed me, I'm pretty sure. I'd like to say Matt would have been one of the 2, but I'm pretty sure it's Joe and Jeff.
I mean, that would be something, yeah, because Jeff has been saying that.
Because Jeff would be more likely as a Rumble surprise than Matt. Because Matt doesn't suit the. I like Matt a lot more. Matt is the better wrestler out of the 2. But as far as fan favorites, he's just not.
I mean, honestly, people love the Hardys either way. But I guess when people think about it, like as much as like I love both the Hardy Boys. Like,
it's like Edge and Christian. Christian was the better wrestler.
But like Edge was like more well known.
Yeah.
Like, it's just pretty much like the person who got more screen time. Because, like, truth be told, like, the sad fact is, Matt didn't even get, like, a World Heavyweight title run or a WWE title run.
Nope, he got the failing ECW World Championship.
I mean, Jeff got pushed for both WWE and World Heavyweight, so that's why, like, he's right about that one, and that's coming from someone who is a major Jeff Hardy fan and stuff like that. I can openly admit that as much as I would love to see both of them, both Matt and Jeff, if we were to just do Jeff, it would be a lot bigger of a pop, I think. But that's just our opinion and stuff like that, but it's well confirmed. But yeah, so this was a nice list that we got of WWE 2K25 for our wrestler predictions for all of Raw, SmackDown, Legends, NXT, and TNA/DLC. As far as like any other like potential candidates, as far as like DLC goes, I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you like a couple of superstars who we definitely think will not be in the game. Just to name off like 2 or 3. I mean, honestly, you were telling me that there's a good chance that Becky Lynch probably won't be in the game. I mean, I don't know about.
Just as someone who's not signed with the WWE, and she's not been signed with the WWE since she was last seen during the summertime.
I mean, they still mention her a lot, though.
They mention AJ Lee a lot.
You see, that would be a pretty decent like DLC like thing as well.
But in order to put them into the game, they need Legends contracts, and if they want to re-sign Becky as a full-time wrestler, they're going to put her as a legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
AJ Lee they might put under a Legends contract.
Because, like, truth be told,
because she really doesn't want to come back from all the things. Like, CM Punk wants AJ Lee to come back more than AJ Lee wants to come back. And that's from CM Punk's interviews, pretty much, too.
Yeah, and personally, like, when it comes down to it, a lot of people do want to see... There was, like, a Roxanne Perez...
Jade...
or Cora Jade that said it. That said, like, they
said it in an interview that CM Punk, like, walked in and walked out.
But, like, I think I remember hearing them say that they don't want to retire until... I think it was either Roxanne or Cora that said they
Cora is
they want to be retired by AJ.
Yeah.
Or
Cora is. She wants to have. She doesn't want to retire until she has a main event Mania match with AJ Lee.
And honestly, like that would be something pretty cool.
But it's probably never happened. Sorry, Cora Jade, you're just never gonna get retired. You're wrestling.
I mean, you gotta. Until you're 90. But, I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, like, the realistic thing here would definitely be I guess similar to like Goldberg, like she doesn't have to like come back like permanently and stuff like that. Have her do like a Legends deal, make her a few appearances and stuff like that. Because truth be told, I mean, it was definitely the thing. It was definitely the whole situation like with Vince and stuff like that that really caused AJ to be like, no, it's over. And then CM Punk came back a year ago, and then even Punk has said, you know what, this place is a lot different. It's changed. It's a lot better now. It's a lot less toxic. So I think the good chance of like us seeing AJ, I mean, maybe as like a headliner DLC for a pack. I don't know what it could be, but just as a hypothetical, have AJ sign a Legends deal. I mean, that's what I would like to say. If not for 25, definitely for 26. Just because the demand for like the DLC, even buying the season pass and stuff like that, it would be up there. Because like a lot of fans, me included, I don't know about him, but I would love the person like make like a trio team with like AJ, Cora, and Roxanne, with like Punk as their manager and stuff like that. I don't know. It'd be something funny. But like call it like the best in the world. But I don't know. There's like a lot of good potential as far as like, and sadly like a lot of people were, someone who you actually talked about, we're not seeing Baron Corbin. Like he's off. We're not seeing Bobby Lashley. Like he's done.
Andy Hartwell, Tegan Knox. Bro, this was the only wrestling game with Tegan Knox in it.
That is sad. That is honestly sad as hell.
The only game that had Tegan Knox.
I feel like a 50-50 thing is in fact Brock Lesnar. And the only reason why I say it's 50-50 is literally...
Lawsuit.
Aside from the lawsuit, that's where we think like it's the negative 50, but the positive 50 is the fact of like he is still with WWE. Because I recently had checked it like last night.
He is still talked about by Triple H.
He's still talked about, and eventually, I forgot what pay-per-view it was. I think it was at the end of like either Survivor Series or someone or Rumble. I don't know. But when people were saying about Brock, like I think in an interview we talked about Brock, and Triple H said it's not at this point. It's not like Brock is all good in the clear. It's whether or not he wants to return. Like, I remember that...
No, Triple H's thing is, it's not if WWE wants him to return, it's if he wants to return.
And so essentially, like, Brock can just sign a Legends deal and 2K25, and then we go back and
I don't think he's going to be in the game until the stuff comes out in, whatever it's called, the fucking investigation.
So you probably don't think he'll be on the main roster, but DLC them?
I don't think he'll be in the games.
Oh. I don't know, but I'm holding out hope that we'll see the Beast officially be back in the 2K game, because truthfully, technically he wasn't out of 24. They just removed like him being playable, and
Discovery. That's what it's in right now. Until they find out who the alleged UFC champion was.
Which, honestly, I think...
People say Brock, but Cain Velasquez was signed with the WWE at that time, too. And guess who was not with the WWE for very long?
Cain Velasquez?
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Because his contract expired that same year. And they were using the victim as a negotiation to extend the contract.
True.
So, like, it could be Cain Velasquez more as equally as it could be Brock Lesnar.
Then again, there's also, like, somebody else, but I don't want to...
No, Matt Riddle wasn't a heavyweight champion, so it's not Riddle.
But, I don't know.
People speculate Riddle because of all the scandals Riddle had, but he was never a heavyweight champion.
Yeah, fair point there. But I guess as far as getting off topic there, but I guess as far as like, you know, superstars that, you know, we got them. But as far as like superstars that we would love to see and who could potentially make a comeback and and or make their debut in the 2K game. That's our list. Wanted to get that out there before potentially, because the rumor has it they're probably going to be announcing the official either cover superstar and like details, probably on the Raw and Netflix. That's like a rumor that I've seen being speculated, because usually they do it at the Rumble, but since the Rumble's in February and WWE games usually come out between like March and April, I feel like that's not really enough time for them to like market the game, at least in my opinion. I feel like you need at least like at bare minimum like 3 months, 3 to 4. So I feel like if they do it on the Raw at Netflix, the Netflix debut on Raw, or
and they're treating it like a pay-per-view, like they would day one.
So that's where I personally think, that's where I personally like stand on that one. Be saying that, that's why we kind of wanted to make this video our predictions for 2K25. One thing I will hopefully definitely venture to guess, updated Rock. I definitely think we can probably be getting the final boss Rock with updated Titron and like heel glasses and special vest and stuff like that. But that'd be something cool. But anyway. But yeah, those are our predictions for WWE 2K25 superstars and or factions that we would like to see in next year's game. And honestly, this was the last video that me and him are going to be making for the year. So we'll see you guys next year. I'm Xenoheart13 with my friend SourReality, and we'll catch you all next year. Later.